one last
Show's
time.
over, right?
In 2018.
No, the show's over.
Let's dust it off.
No, isn't it
It's
over?
America's favorite segment.
It's 1 o'clock
free
already.
money.
For your bookie.
Free money.
Show should be over.
Our college football picks against the spread. It's bowl season. And so we've got 6 bowls to pick here for our college football teams in the state of Texas. First and foremost, I am taking Marion Hardin Baylor by 10,000 over Mount Union. Go Crew. But we have 6 bowl games, and there's some intrigue here. So the good thing is that I won. I was correct on the Big 12 championship, which means I'm now 65, 62, and 3 on the year. What that means is I have to get 2 picks right. If I get 2 of these 6
Can't
right,
wait till this goes spectacularly
if
wrong.
I get 2 of these 6 picks right, I will finish above 500. And if I get 1 or fewer right, I will finish below 500, and Max will begin the first show of 2019 with 5 minutes of uninterrupted laughter.
I will just set the studio on fire and let the cameras roll.
So, let's get to it. What's our first game, Max?
We haven't done this in so long. I don't remember how to do it. Do we have to do it?
We do.
Utah State versus North Texas. Utah State without a coach. Well, they'll have one, but it's not the right one. And the New Mexico Bowl. The Mean Green. 7.5-point dog.
So the thing is, on paper, Utah State's the better team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a 10-win team.
Yeah.
It's a really good team coming out of the Mountain West. They are particularly good offensively. This offense is big and explosive, and they really do kind of everything well. They run for big plays, and they are super efficient in the passing game. The defense is fine as well. On the other side, North Texas is, of course, a team that likes to throw the ball with Mason Fine and an offense. I think this game could be pretty pointsy, which I would actually look at the over in this game and see what that is. But in the end, though, I think there's the big X factor, and a lot of what bowl games come down to is like motivation.
Mm-hmm.
One of these teams has a coach, and the other one of these teams has a coach who just spurned a lot of other offers to stay with this team. The other is going to be on an interim, as Matt Wells is now the new head coach at Texas Tech. As a result, I like the Mean Green. I'm going to take North Texas plus 7.5 in this one.
I think you got to – the thing with North Texas this season has been inconsistency, right? Yes, they're the ones that have the coach. I believe it's Frank Mail. Their coordinator is going to be taking over for Utah State, their defensive coordinator. You got to wonder how much of the motivation factor plays with that, right? Like, let's send this season off into the sunset with something good. I'm taking North Texas too, but
you wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if Utah State wins this. One, because we've seen North Texas lay an egg, and I could see Frank Mail. He's also kind of young too, so I could see him kind of firing up the team a little bit. Maybe just going out there with their heads on fire and just kind of playing lights out.
I like it. What's next, Max?
Oh, we're still doing this, man. I tuned you guys out. That's too bad. I know where our commenters are going to side in this one. Houston versus Army, the Armed Forces Bowl. Your Cougs against an Army team that we were kind of bagging most of the year, even though we're big fans of them here. A little bit. 3-point dogs. What's going on here, Tepper? Mostly because their best defensive player isn't going to play against a run-first team?
No, Army's
3-point
favorite.
Yeah.
And hi, I'm Greg Tepper, and this is Ishmael Johnson,
Hi.
and we are proud members of the Munkin Hive.
Yep.
We love Army. We love the Army football. They are like my favorite college football team. If you don't know what Army football is about, they are slow and plotting and will destroy you in the most polite, proud way possible.
It's like a steamroller in neutral on a slight decline.
It's
just gonna keep
here it comes.
going.
Did you ever see the the Austin Powers bit where the guy gets run over by the spoiler? No! It took 10 minutes for him to get run over.
It's 48 minutes of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a team that they're going to do one thing and do it one thing really well, and that is to run the ball. But here's the thing: this is actually a super good passing Army team.
Yeah.
Their quarterback, Calvin Hopkins Jr., is one of the most efficient and explosive passers in the game. He is going to if he drops back to throw, they're going to have a chance to make something happen. Houston is going to be without Ed Oliver. That's why this line has moved so much. Is that they think that Ed Oliver is worth about 4 points in this game.
Oh, and De'Ara King.
And De'Ara King is out. That's the thing. This is a Houston team. I think Houston at full speed is probably going to win this game, but without your starting quarterback and without your best defensive player, I'm going to lean towards Army. I'm going to take Army -3 in the Armed Forces Bowl too.
Monk and Hive. Come on now.
Yeah, gotta go Monk and Hive. What's next, Max?
That's fine. Whatever. We're going to keep going?
Yep.
Oh, God. Cal versus TCU in the only good bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl. It's Pick'em. I don't even know why we're doing it.
How do you feel about Cheez-Its?
I like Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its are good.
I like
Cheez-It.
Cheez-Its are solid.
They're better than, what was the other one? The off-brand one that was like?
Oh God, cheese nips.
Cheese Nips.
Cheese
That
nips.
was the
Yeah,
other-
cheese nips are trash.
It might not be as good as Maverick Cassidy in our comments says as the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla
Oh
Bowl.
my God! It's just like. So here's the thing: is that Cal's not very good. They're real super average. This is a 7-5 versus 6-6 game.
But good news, Cal. Neither is TCU.
But yeah, neither is TCU. But this is super interesting because one of these teams has a pretty good defense and a terrible offense, and one of these teams has a terrible defense and a pretty good offense.
Yeah.
Did I say the same thing twice?
No, it's
No,
probably fine.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
The most important part.
TCU is the defense and
Yeah,
You know what I
Cal
mean.
is the offense.
Cal's
Fine.
offense is awful,
Yeah.
but their defense is actually really solid,
Yeah.
which is going to make this a really interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I would bet the under on this game, but I'm going to be a State of Texas homer and go TCU.
Yeah, TCU.
Sure.
I got nothing else to add. That's TCU.
What the hell difference
Sure.
does it make?
Right.
What's next, Max?
We're all just ants on a rock spinning around, right?
But that's like if you read the game synopsis, that's what that says.
That's what the game. Yeah,
We're all
that's,
just
that's,
ants on a rock spinning around.
That's the whole preview right there. That's all you need at the Cheez-It Bowl. This is the only bowl that really matters. The Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl.
Woo!
Proud partners of Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Woo!
Baylor versus Vanderbilt. Baylor, 3.5
It's actually
point
kind of an
dogs.
intriguing matchup.
This is a really interesting matchup.
I feel like this is gonna be a very ugly game to watch.
Yeah,
though.
I don't think
Sure.
this is going to be very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
These are two teams that when they play well, they actually look really good.
yeah.
But like that hasn't been particularly often.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt started real hot, and they gave Notre Dame a huge run, and then they just totally collapsed in the middle of the season. And then they rattled off 2 straight wins over kind of middling Tennessee and Ole Miss teams. A bad Tennessee team, if we're being honest.
Derek Mason, by the way, Hall of Famer, stay ready, coach.
Oh yeah. This is a balanced Vanderbilt attack.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against a Baylor team that I think has finally found an identity. I think there's going to be a decent Baylor contingent there, and more importantly, they're handing out the Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year award at this event, and therefore you have to pick the team from Texas. I'm taking Baylor plus 3.5.
I'm gonna take Vanderbilt just because I feel that defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
If they can kind of push Baylor around, I feel like that could really fluster that offense. And so go with the Commodores.
All right. What's next, Max?
The most important part of this preview, the Gator Bowl preview, is that I found the old school NC State logo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
baby.
I see it.
NC State taking on 19 Texas A&M in the Gator Bowl. The Aggies 6.5 point favorites.
So basically, like, how do you believe that Texas A&M is going to handle like a whole month off? Like, I think the worst thing that could have happened is that they win that amazing, incredible, like, classic game over LSU,
And then they don't play.
and they sit for a month. I think that's like the worst thing that could have happened to them. They're taking on an NC State team that, if you're unfamiliar with them, it's a team that has they're pretty good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is really good. They have a great quarterback in Ryan Finley and a couple of receivers in Kelvin Harmon and Jacoby Myers, who are going to be a problem for a secondary at Texas A&M that is. That's the main reason why I'm going to take the points here. I'm going to take NC State plus 6.5.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if that's a bad matchup for the Aggies.
I think I'm taking A&M. I have not given them a lot of credit this year, but I think they do ride that momentum.
Okay.
Because I think that they're just probably the stuff that happened after the game. I think they're probably itching just to just get back to football, get back to something else.
Not a bad pick.
And I mean, continuing that into the offseason, that momentum going into the next season, Aggie hype is going to be off the charts if they win this. And so I think that they're going to be hungry for a win.
And finally, Max.
Oh, we're going to keep going? We're not done.
We got
Okay.
one more.
Okay, fine. All right.
Last one,
got
buddy.
through
Last, I'll tell you what. Hey,
most
how
of
about this? How about this? Last one until September. Do one more, and then we'll stop till
Hopefully the
September.
show will get canceled by then.
Okay.
The Sugar Bowl in my favorite city, New Orleans. 15 Texas taking on 5 Georgia. Texas, 12 point dogs.
Yeah, guys, like Georgia's literally the best team that's not in the playoff.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with Texas. The reason I'm taking Georgia plus 12 or minus 12 rather has nothing to do with Texas. It has everything to do with Georgia. Like basically Georgia's super good, and they're super good kind of at everything. The only way that the only argument I think you can make for Texas to win this game outright, not cover, but to win this game outright, is that Tom Herman as an underdog is a dangerous foe.
Yeah.
But I think that this defense is really, really solid for Georgia. They're going to be able to stymie it.
Is Tucker still the coordinator there? Or
I believe
did
that's
he
correct.
I know he took the job, but I don't know
if he's gone yet.
Okay.
But in any case, and then you're gonna get a snootful of DeAndre Swift and Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
I like Georgia in this one as much as it pains me to say. I like Georgia minus 12 in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Georgia in this one as well. I don't want if Texas covers or if Texas pulls the upset, I don't want the old Georgia was a motivated thing to come out.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one that always bugs me. Yeah. It's because you could see teams that are unmotivated or whatever. I don't think Georgia's one of those teams. And if Texas covers or wins, give them the credit. Like it's not Georgia.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not Georgia. Oh, they wanted to be in the playoffs, so they don't care about this bowl. Like
you're 100% right.
If Texas stays on this field and
give them the
doesn't
props.
get run off, give them
their props that they went and they went toe to toe with one of the best teams in the country.
Right.
So.
But that's a Georgia minus 12.
So those are my free money picks. I like North Texas minus 7.5 over Utah State in the New Mexico Bowl. I like Army minus 3. North Texas plus 7.5. I like Army minus 3 over Houston in the Armed Forces Bowl. I like TCU over Cal in the Cheez-It Bowl in a pick'em. I like Baylor plus 3.5 over Vanderbilt in the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl. I like NC State plus 6.5 over Texas A&M in the Gator Bowl, and I like Georgia minus 12. Over Texas.
You need 2
in the Sugar Bowl. I need 2 to avoid the under 500.